Before we end our look at color, I want to look at something called broadcast safe color. You see, when colors are broadcast, they have to fit within a certain spectrum. If they're too bright or too saturated, then they appear to glow and buzz on the screen. It just looks terrible. Nowadays, you typically only see this when you're maybe staying up too late, or you're watching a more budget local channel, or you're maybe watching an ad from a local business or something like that did their own commercial. After Effects has a great way to fix this. Go to Color Correction, category of effects, and what we're going to do is apply the effect called Broadcast Colors. And what that's going to do is automatically fix our colors so that they fall within the proper specs for video color. Now, you might have noticed that when we applied this effect, and especially when we start changing these settings, that we see a noticeable difference in our reds. That's just the nature of the beast. Now, I should probably tell you that with this footage here of this little girl, what I've done is I've gone in, before I imported this footage, I increased the saturation as much as it could possibly go. And so you probably won't have footage that's this oversaturated, this intense usually. But just to bring it into specs for broadcast, this effect will have to shave off some of the intensity. That's just its purpose. Just choose your broadcast locale, either NTSC or PAL, and choose what method you want it to use to fix your footage, whether you want it to reduce the brightness or whether you want it to reduce saturation. In our case, the default of reduced luminance doesn't quite look as good as reduced saturation. Now, if you really know what you're doing, you could go in here and adjust the maximum signal. That might allow you to push just a little bit more color into this, but Adobe recommends staying with this 110. That is a very safe number to make sure that all of your colors here are going to fall within the specs that they should. Now, this is all fine and great for just this one layer, but what if we had an entire composition? We don't want to apply the same effect and change the settings for every single effect on every single layer in our composition. So what we can do is just right-click in the timeline, create a new adjustment layer. And adjustment layers affect everything beneath them. So what I'd want to do here is maybe select broadcast colors. We could just hit Command X or Control X on the PC to cut that. Select the adjustment layer and then Command V on the Mac or Control V on the PC to paste that in. And then every layer beneath the adjustment layer will be broadcast safe.